Coronavirus hits the Cascade County Jail. A look at the cases and how they're handling it. Plus,
a hot topic this election, where the candidates for governor stand on sales tax. And later,
teachers return to work for 2 intensive days of training. I'm Shannon Newth. Coming up, I'll tell you about Great Falls Central Catholic's back-to-school procedures.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Tonight, the Cascade County Sheriff addressing the COVID outbreak in the Cascade County Detention Center. Thanks for making MTN a part of your evening. I'm Tim McGonigal.
And I'm Hallie Schunard. This past Friday, Cascade County Sheriff Jesse Slaughter announced the detention center's first COVID-19 outbreak. Today, the sheriff said that outbreak has expanded from 1 case to 55. In response to the first positive case, medical staff isolated the individual and placed him in isolation. Since then, the City County Health Department and Alluvian Health have been on site testing other inmates and staff. Over the past few days, they discovered 53 inmates from the jail and 2 detention center employees have coronavirus. Sheriff Slaughter says staff have always taken safety protocols at the jail seriously, even increasing preventative measures against COVID when they noticed cases statewide on the rise.
Recently, before we had the outbreak at the facility, we actually upped them, anticipating that what we were seeing around everywhere, that there was another kind of spike. For example, when officers come in and they're inmates, we don't even allow the law enforcement officers in the facility anymore. The detention officers get them and bring them in. So we're trying to do whatever we can to limit outside access to the facility so we mitigate that.
Testing will continue at the jail, and as a safety measure, all civilian visitation is suspended at this time. Now, today, more than 50 new cases of coronavirus being reported statewide. We're seeing 1,520 active cases statewide, 114 hospitalizations, and 93 deaths.
A haze has settled into western Montana due to wildfires from hundreds of miles away. MTN's Russ Thomas shows us how the smoke is impacting our air quality and, for some, their health.
As smoke from massive California wildfires continues to pour into western Montana, our air quality continues to take a hit.
Our conditions in Missoula County are in the upper limits of moderate and occasionally tipping over into unhealthy for sensitive groups.
The designation of unhealthy for sensitive groups impacts a larger segment of the population than many realize.
It includes children, it includes the elderly, it's anyone with heart or lung disease, it's people with diabetes, it's people who are pregnant. It's a pretty significant portion of our population.
It would seem that the best answer on how to avoid excessive wildfire smoke inhalation would be to stay indoors. However, Missoula City County air quality specialist Sarah Cofield says that smoke will find its way into your home. She says it's important to be proactive when keeping your home as smoke-free as possible.
You can create cleaner indoor air spaces on a room-by-room basis with a portable air cleaner with a true HEPA filter in it, or you can make your own air cleaner using a box fan and a furnace filter.
She adds it's important to do your homework to make sure you have the right type of filter. If you have to spend time outdoors, Cofield suggests taking it easy.
If you are outside, try to avoid exerting yourself really heavily.
And if you think wearing your cloth mask outdoors will keep those unhealthy air particulates out, guess again.
These are not designed to prevent you from inhaling smoke. So keep wearing them, but don't use them expecting them to protect you from wildfire smoke.
Right now it appears we have about another 24 to 48 hours of smoky air conditions before air quality begins to improve later in the week. In Missoula, Russ Thomas, MTN News.
Some of us are seeing some rain showers. Our Storm Tracker weather team is here to tell us more. For the latest, let's send it over to Grant Garland. Grant?
That's right, Tim. We are looking at rain showers over the last 3 hours. Thankfully, no lightning, though, strikes with these that are pushing out towards the Electric City and Lewistown. But you know how dry it has been is causing some problems. We actually aren't picking up any rain, which is very sad, but hopefully we'll be able to over the next 24 hours. And just like Russ was saying, why are we seeing these hazy conditions? It is because of those wildfires out towards California. They go up, the smoke rises up in the atmosphere in about 3 miles miles up, we have our jet stream that's helping carry these particles our way. And in fact, with our air quality, we are looking at moderate to unhealthy for sensitive groups right now for many in the Treasure State. Temperatures, well, at 90 degrees in Great Falls, 91 in Lewistown, 98 in Glasgow, and our winds are around 12 miles an hour for both the capital and the electric cities. Now, strong storms, they are possible tomorrow, and we're going to talk about all that and more in a few minutes, but for now, back to you.
Tonight, Flathead County law enforcement are looking for information on 6-month-old Lucas Warner. They say the child was kidnapped by his non-custodial father who suffers from mental issues. The Amber Alert issued Sunday states Lucas is believed to be in danger as a court ruled his father is an unfit parent. MTN's Marin Sue spoke with Lucas's aunt who explains what the public can do to help.
It's a family's worst nightmare, and it all started Saturday, August 22nd, when Mom Riley came home and found her 6-month-old son Lucas missing.
You just never think those things are going to happen to your family until something like that does. It's definitely scary, but it's definitely eye-opening that the world can be an evil place.
Macy Dompf just wants to know if her 6-month-old nephew Lucas is safe. Flathead County Sheriff Brian Hano says law enforcement got the initial call on Saturday, August 22nd.
I got a call from a mother that had returned home, and her baby was missing at that point. So originally called in as a kind of a kidnapping. When law enforcement got on scene, they determined that the biological father was actually the one that took the child, and a babysitter that was there as well most likely was with him.
Sheriff Hano says law enforcement believes this kidnapping was planned by Lucas's non-custodial father, Andrew Warner, and babysitter Haley Emerson. Right now, law enforcement are looking for a late 90s to early 2000s white Chevy extended cab pickup with unknown license plates, and they're working quickly on many leads with multiple counties to find Lucas.
Working with several witnesses in several different counties right now, just to determine, so we can check on the welfare of this child.
Aunt Macy has a message for Andrew and Haley.
Please bring Lucas to safety. Please don't involve him in this. Just make the right choice and bring him home where he belongs.
If you have any information at all, you're to contact the Flathead County Sheriff's Office. In Kalispell, Marin Sue, MTN News.
Well, one Montana man leaves behind a legacy after a fatal kayak accident on the Missouri River this weekend. Cleve Jeffrey Loney served as a state representative, chair of the Cascade County Republican Committee, and a beloved husband, stepfather, and friend. Loney's loved ones expressed their sorrow over his passing on social media, calling him a devoted family man and friend, and sharing pictures from his years as a Cowboy Hall of Famer. We have yet to receive any comment from the Loney's family, as we are allowing them the necessary time and space to grieve. In Montana's 2020 race for governor, you've been hearing a lot about the sales tax as an issue between Republican Greg Gianforte and Democrat Mike Cooney. As MTN's Mike Dennison reports, their positions on a statewide sales tax are pretty much the same.
Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney, who's running for governor, doesn't mince words when it comes to his opposition to a sales tax.
No sales tax, no statewide sales tax, not today, not 2 years from now, not ever.
And his main opponent, Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte, essentially says the same.
I've been very clear. I would veto it if it came to my desk. Montanans have been very clear. We've had a number of referendums. Montanans don't want a sales tax.
Yet Cooney and fellow Democrats continue to accuse Gianforte of supporting or advocating for a statewide sales tax.
On this, my opponent and I could not disagree more. After Montanans rejected a statewide sales tax twice, Greg Gianforte called a state sales tax in Montana an ideal solution.
Yes, he did, 18 years ago, when speaking to a governor's advisory council about how Montana could cut its taxes on income and capital gains to attract more business development to the state. But when he ran for governor in 2016 and again this year, Gianforte has said repeatedly that he opposes a sales tax. That opposition also is in Gianforte's state business plan, released last month. We asked Cooney why we shouldn't take Gianforte at his word, that he opposes the very tax that Cooney opposes.
He's not telling the truth, and it's just that simple. He's trying to change now to protect his political career. I mean, let me put it this way. This is a guy who lied to the police after he assaulted a reporter. Why should Montanans believe him on anything?
There is a legislative panel examining state tax reform that will meet Tuesday to look at sales tax options. But the chairman of that panel, Representative Alan Redfield of Livingston, told MTN News Monday that he said the committee is wasting its time since both gubernatorial candidates have said they would veto any sales tax bill. Gianforte calls the Democratic allegation that he supports a sales tax complete fabrication. I'm sure we can find plenty of policy differences between Mr. Gianforte and Mr. Cooney, but on the sales tax, there's not a lot. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Cooney also has said he's organizing a drive for a 2022 voter initiative to place a sales tax ban in Montana's state constitution. Well, the new facility made possible thanks to hundreds of thousands in donations. More from today's ribbon cutting at Longfellow.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. Great Falls Central Catholic teachers return to work today for 2 intensive days of training. Students will return on Wednesday for a regular 7-period schedule. MTN's Shannon Newth has more on the private school's procedures.
Great Falls Central Catholic reduced its student capacity this year. Typically, they'd have around 160 students. This year, around 100 students will attend the high school for in-person classes. Everyone coming into the school building will have their temperature and symptoms checked. In order to accommodate students, they've had to get creative. Class sizes have been reduced and some study halls have been eliminated. Stickers have been placed on the floor to mark where chairs should be. HEPA filters will exchange air inside classrooms every hour. Masks are required and will be provided, but students will be able to take them off once they're seated in class. Teachers will wear N95 masks and be equipped with microphones to help students hear them.
The most vulnerable people in the school are the teachers. They're the most vulnerable to getting sick. And if they get sick, we're in the worst kind of trouble. We can't replace what the teachers do in the classroom.
A handful of teens will attend school remotely this year with a live stream into the classroom. Some electives will also be available online.
So I've been in education for 26 years, but nothing prepares you for this kind of change in the way that we do business. Just nothing. You could be a veteran principal, and I'm on principal groups, and those veterans are feeling the same way that I am.
Tarosky tells me one of the many challenges to this school year is just getting needed items to the school. Things like sanitation supplies and even technology are on back order because of such high demand across the country. In Great Falls, Shannon Newth, MTN News.
Great Falls Central Catholic has their full plan as well as the current status of the school posted online. To make it easy, we have a link on our website.
Longfellow Elementary held a ribbon cutting today for their new building on 7th Avenue South in Great Falls.
Welcome to Longfellow Elementary School.
The new facility was made possible in part from a $98 million bond passed by Great Falls voters and over $400,000 in private donations to the Great Falls Public Schools Foundation. Some of the new features include an inclusive playground, a sensory room, and a resource center named for former Superintendent Tammy Lacey. The school is almost 60,000 square feet, has 18 classrooms. It comes in at a budget of $15.4 million. Members of the school board spoke at the event, as did Great Falls Mayor Bob Kelly.
This new school, along with Giant Springs Elementary School and the vast repairs done through the entire district, speak to ourselves but also to others interested in bringing to Great Falls good jobs, economic opportunities.
Private donations were made by the Gray Family Foundation, D.A. Davidson Companies, Stu and Janie Nicholson, and others.
Well, we're still going to have to deal with smoke tonight. Temperatures falling down to around 60 degrees in Great Falls and 59 in Lewistown. Don't go away. Your 7-day forecast is coming up next.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Grant Garland.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have had a great Monday evening and ready to tackle on Tuesday. It should be a pleasant evening in terms of maybe a few little rain showers to help us try and cool off and hopefully settle some of the dust and the haze in the air. Let's take a look at Helena, looking at 84 degrees, out towards Lewistown 90, Fort Benton 93 degrees, and out towards Hayes right around 93 as well. Elsewhere, we are seeing 94 in Great Falls, 95 in Havre. As we wait on our official temperatures in Glasgow and Jordan today, which just was a very, very warm day. The average for this time of year is around 80 degrees. So yeah, 14 degrees above the average. The record set back in 1969 when it was 106 degrees. Now temperatures currently 90 degrees in Great Falls and 85 in Helena. We are looking at 23 mile per hour wind gust in Cut Bank over the past 24 hours. So a breezy day out for you all. 25 in Glasgow and 31 out towards Jordan. Not really seeing many areas though where we did see some breezy conditions like we were yesterday. As far as the last 3 hours are concerned, we have been looking at a few showers that have been making their way out towards the northeast. The thing is though, is that we haven't seen really any rainfall at our weather stations. It is so dry that any of these rain showers moving over, it is not hitting the ground. And we need to talk about tomorrow because that's we're going to have some big things going on. First off, we are looking at several places for elevated fire risk, and not only that, but with the thunderstorms that do develop tomorrow, we are favoring and we are looking at isolated dry thunderstorms for those from Cut Bank down to Helena, out towards Missoula, and down towards Bozeman. And as far as the Storm Prediction Center is concerned, they have issued a medium to low risk for our area for severe thunderstorms tomorrow. We could be looking at scattered severe thunderstorms for those in Helena and surrounding areas down towards Butte. And from Great Falls, Lewistown out towards Glasgow, looking at isolated chances for severe thunderstorms. Now, the main threats with any of these will be damaging wind gusts as well as lightning. So please make sure that you are staying weather aware tomorrow in the afternoon hours through the evening. And now let's time that out. As we go throughout the night, we should still see a few showers and possibly a stray thunderstorm as we go into the early evening hours. But then as we go throughout the night, things will start picking back up right around 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. So you might need to give yourself a few extra minutes for that morning commute, especially if you are down in the capital. We are expecting partly cloudy skies tomorrow to mostly cloudy skies going throughout the day. Things are going to really start up right around 2:30 as we have thunderstorms that vamp up from Butte as they head out towards Helena into around Lewistown by 5 p.m. Notice how we start to see this kind of bow wave that starts to move up towards the area. That's where we could be looking at probably an isolated severe thunderstorm or two as it makes its way towards Glasgow right around 7:30. And even throughout at midnight, we're still going to be looking at showers. Going into Wednesday night, we are going to expect to see a drying trend, but then we start to see thunderstorms pop back up into play, mainly though for those in Helena. Tonight, temperatures falling down to around 60 degrees in Great Falls, and we're going to be looking at 87 degrees as our high tomorrow. 66 on Wednesday. We will see our chances for showers and thunderstorms pretty much go away after that. Temperatures falling down to around 82 degrees on Thursday, and then Halley on Sunday, 67 degrees with a chance of showers.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching.
Tom's co-anchor Cece is calling it quits. With sports starting back up, this could be their final game changers together. That's next.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
With high school sporting events returning this week, Game Changers will go back to featuring sports highlights starting next Monday.
But for now, Tom and Cece have one final edition of Social Distance Game Changers.
Hey Cece, thanks for taking this call on such short notice, but it is Monday, so we got Game Changers. I sent you some video. Have you had a chance to take a look at them? All right, good to know. Without further ado, let's jump into our top moments of the week. At number 5, good news for moviegoers. AMC theaters open back up this week with limited capacity and concessions, but buttered popcorn is back on the menu. At number 4, high school sports got off to a successful start with the Great Falls Golf Invite featuring 13 AA teams at 2 locations. Congratulations to the Gallatin boys and Bozeman girls for taking home team titles. At number 3, Arts Fest Montana returned to the Electric City with 9 artists painting murals in downtown Great Falls, all with a goal of bringing people together through art. At number 2, it's back to school time for many communities, and Centerville and Cascade were among the first schools to open, returning to the hallways for a memorable first day in a school year unlike any other. And at number 1, Montana proudly supporting one of its own. 14-year-old Kiana Yeager of Fairfield is fighting COVID-19 at a hospital in Salt Lake City, but over 2,000 people have joined a Facebook group called Kiana's Biggest Drive to donate to food banks in her name.
Well, of course, folks, please help us out. You can send video to homehighlights@krtv.com. Reporting from home, Tom and Cece Wiley with another edition of Game Changers, MTN News.
Thanks, guys, and don't go away. We'll be right back.
8 degrees in the Electric City. Tomorrow warming up to 88 in Helena. And we are looking at the next 3 days. Well, chances for showers and thunderstorms.
All right. Keep your cool for a couple more days at least.
How about umbrella?
That's all the time we have. See you at 10.